grade 8 and welcome to another lesson. So this is lesson 5 in which we look at vocabulary and grammar. And the topic of our lesson today is, could you guess by looking at the pictures what these pictures show you, or what can you see in the pictures, so that you could know the topic of our lesson. Okay, so the topic of the lesson is extreme weather, because you have some examples of extreme weather here, and these are some examples. So in the first task you're going to look and match. So you have the names of the extreme weathers you see in front of you, or the words, and then you're going to listen and check and also repeat with the script. Before you listen and try to know the name of each one of these, let's read one by one. So the first one is cyclone. We'll look at the first one. This is cyclone, tornado, thunder and lightning, sandstorm, heat wave, drought, forest fire, volcano, tsunami, flood, hailstorm, and snowstorm. So these are the names. So in order to know the name of each one of them, you could try match the pictures to the words. For example, the first one, we have a picture of some, like, this is kind of ice falling on the ground. So it's not normal snow. It's ice, it's hard ice that is very hard and that could do some harm to, for example, if it falls on your head or on cars. So we call this kind of extreme weather hailstorm. So it's a hailstorm. The first one is hailstorm. As for the second one, usually after it stops, or even sometimes during raining, when it's raining, you can listen to some sound and also see some, like, as if it's light in the sky, and we call this thunder and lightning. So let's listen to one by one in order to know the words. So we're going to listen now.
Unit 1, Recording 10. Listen, check, and repeat. 1,
Hailstorm.
2,
Thunder and lightning.
3,
Snowstorm.
4,
Heat wave.
5,
Cyclone.
6,
Sandstorm.
7,
Tornado.
8,
Tsunami.
9,
Drought.
10,
Flood.
11,
Volcano.
12.
Forest fire.
So that was the listening. Now you know the names of each one of them. And as you've heard in the listening, the first one is, so we're going to write the number here. So the first one is done for you. It's a hailstorm. Number 2, we said it's, as you listened, it's thunder and lightning. Okay. Number 3 is a snowstorm. Number 4, you have, it's very hot here, so it's a heat wave. You can also find a video with some short videos for each one of these extreme weathers on the channel. Okay, number 5, what is number 5? Yes, it's a cyclone. So you can go on and write the names according to the script, the listening you hear, to check your answers. Okay, Now, let's move on to the second activity. The second activity here says, it says this one. Read the diary in lesson 4 again. How many weather words? So we're looking for weather words in the diary that Khalid has written. So any weather words there? Let's move on. Let's go back to see any weather words here. We'll try to look at or find some weather words. For example, if you look at the first part, yesterday I had one of the most frightening experiences of my life. I was staying at my grandparents' house with my mom, dad, and little brother. My aunt and uncle and cousins were there too. I was woken up early by a large storm. So, for example, the word storm is a weather word. So we can highlight this word. I got up and looked out of the window of my bedroom. I listened to the loud thunder. So thunder is also a weather word. And watched the amazing lightning. So these are some of the weather words that you can find here. And I looked at my dad's phone and saw on the news that a cyclone was coming. I asked my dad what a cyclone was, and I asked him if he knew what to do. He told me not to worry because the cyclone was just a big storm. Okay, so these are some weather words that you could highlight. Let's move on now. We're still looking at some as extreme weather, but this time we'll move to so it's the same thing here. We'll move to the activity book, which is we'll make this down here, and we'll look at activity book on page 16. So still vocabulary and grammar here. You have here some 6 pictures. You still need to label the pictures with the names of the extreme weather. So as you looked at them in the class book. So what is the second one? If you remember, the second one, when there is like lava, we say lava that comes out of the as if it comes out of the ground, and you have a mountain, also lots of hot rock, which we call lava. So this kind of extreme weather is called a volcano. Okay, so number 2 is volcano. What about the third one? So you have, this is like the town, and we are here, we have the city here, the sea here. There's a big wave that is going to land, and it destroys lots of things on the land. So what do we call this? This is a tsunami. Okay, so tsunami. Oh, sorry. We'll have tsunami. Just be careful that the word, the letter T is a silent letter, so you just say tsunami. You don't pronounce the T here. The T is silent. Okay. You can complete the rest by looking at the pictures which are in the class book. So try to work in order to finish or write the names of these pictures. Okay, let's move on now to activity 2. In activity 2, we also have a listening. This time you're going to listen in order to what? It says listen and tick the extreme weather that you hear. There's more than one answer. So you're going to listen to some people talking, and they will mention some of the extreme weathers. So you should listen and tick the extreme weathers that you hear. Okay, so we will do this listening here, and it's 1.12. So we will play the listening, but be careful, something to say here. Always before you listen, you need to read the question. So for example, what do we have here? we have some weather words. Make sure that you can read them before the teacher plays the audio. So for example, we have number 1 and number 2. Number 1 we have sandstorm, flood, tsunami, cyclone, tornado, snowstorm, volcano, forest fire, heat wave, drought, hailstorm, thunder and lightning. So let's listen now, and then we're going to take, like this one, we will take the extreme weather that we hear. Let's start.
Unit 1, recording 12. Listen and tick the extreme weather that you hear. There is more than one answer. 1.
Okay, class. Does anyone know what a cyclone is? Zainab? Yes. It's a really big storm with lots of rain and strong winds that blow around in a circle. Okay. And how is that different from a tornado? Dana? A tornado is smaller, but the winds are much faster. And tornadoes don't last as long as cyclones. Good. And what about a sandstorm? What's that? Nawal? A sandstorm is a very strong wind and it carries sand. Excellent. Now open your books.
2.
Phew! It's so hot today. When is this heat wave going to end?
The weather service says it could last another 2 or 3 days.
Oh no! And when is it going to rain?
I don't know. We're going to have a bad drought this year. Everything is so dry, and that's dangerous.
Dangerous? Why is that?
Because there could be a forest fire. Do you remember what happened in California?
I do. That was terrible. Let's hope for rain.
Okay, so that was the listening. If you want to check your answers, you can go back in the video and make sure that these are the extreme weathers that were mentioned. So you need here to just tick the extreme weathers that you have heard. And just to give you a note here, never do a task at home. You should always do it in class. This is just for you to prepare, okay? So this is as for activity 2. Let's move to activity 3 now. This time we're going to listen again to complete the text. So we have a text with some blanks or dashes. You're going to listen in order to complete the dashes, but before you listen, you also need to read the text. Cyclones and blank have strong winds that blow in circles. A cyclone is blank than a tornado, and it also lasts longer. A dash is another dash here, wind, and it carries sand. A dash is when the weather is very blank. A blank is when it doesn't, also dash here, for a long time. That can be dangerous because everything gets dry and there could be a dash here. So we're going to listen now in order to complete. We're going to listen twice before we check our answers. 1.13.
Unit 1, recording 13. Listen again. Complete the text. 1.
Okay, class. Does anyone know what a cyclone is? Zainab? Yes. It's a really big storm with lots of rain and strong winds that blow around in a circle. Okay. And how is that different from a tornado? Dana?
A tornado is smaller, but the winds are much faster. And tornadoes don't last as long as cyclones.
Good. And what about a sandstorm? What's that? Nawal?
A sandstorm is a very strong wind and it carries sand.
Excellent. Now open your books.
2.
Phew! It's so hot today. When is this heat wave going to end?
The weather service says it could last another 2 or 3 days.
Oh no! And when is it going to rain?
I don't know. We're going to have a bad drought this year. Everything is so dry, and that's dangerous.
Dangerous? Why's that?
Because there could be a forest fire. Do you remember what happened in California?
I do. That was terrible. Let's hope for rain.
Okay, so that was the first time. Now, I want you to see if you have noticed that this text, it's not the same that was in the script. يعني بلغة أخرى. انتم ما سمعتوا لنفس الفقرة هنا، هي نفسها اللي كانت في الاستماع. الفقرة اللي أمامكم عبارة عن ملخص للحديث اللي دار بين الأشخاص. يعني هم عندهم كانت محادثة، أولا عندنا شخصين بعدها شخصين، بس ملخص المحادثتين هنا عندكم كفقرة واحدة. فمش ضروري تكون نفس الجملة اللي مكتوبة هنا هم قالوها ونفسها بحذافيرها. عشان كده you might need to listen 2 times, and also you have to read this very carefully before listening. So we are going to listen again and then we will do some answers together.
Unit 1, Recording 13. Listen again. Complete the text. 1.
Okay, class. Does anyone know what a cyclone is? Zainab?
Yes, it's a really big storm with lots of rain and strong winds that blow around in a circle.
Okay. And how is that different from a tornado? Dana?
A tornado is smaller, but the winds are much faster. And tornadoes don't last as long as cyclones.
Good. And what about a sandstorm? What's that? Nawal?
A sandstorm is a very strong wind and it carries sand.
Excellent. Now open your books.
2.
Phew! It's so hot today. When is this heat wave going to end?
The weather service says it could last another 2 or 3 days.
Oh no! And when is it going to rain?
I don't know. We're going to have a bad drought this year. Everything is so dry, and that's dangerous.
Dangerous? Why's that?
Because there could be a forest fire. Do you remember what happened in California?
I do. That was terrible. Let's hope for rain.
Okay, so that was the end of the listening. Now, if you were able to write any words, let's try check them together. So the first one was, okay, cyclones and 2 kinds of extreme weathers both have winds that blow in circles, and these 2 are cyclones and tornadoes. Okay, so these are the 2 kinds of weather. Then a cyclone is dash than a tornado. Usually, as you heard in the text, they said that a cyclone is bigger than a tornado, so it's bigger. As for number 4, look here. Let's find any, let's say, keywords. A dash is a wind. So we have wind and it carries sand. So what kind of extreme weather has sand? You have even the name here. Look here, sandstorm. So this one is going to be a sandstorm. So it's also there's also wind, but it's really very strong. So it's a strong wind, and it carries sand. Is when the weather is very, so we have something here. We have 2 dashes, which could be difficult for you, but we need an adjective here because we have very, and we have a name of the extreme weather here. So you will say dash is when the weather is very, they talked about dry, so, and they also talked about drought. That's why the answer here, this could be tricky as you have 2 dashes, is when the weather is very dry. So it's drought. Drought is the noun, but dry is the adjective. Okay, and then when it doesn't, they also talk about, for a long time they also talked about rain. So when it doesn't, I made a mistake here, sorry. So this was a heat wave, because they talked about heat waves before, when it's very hot. And then they talked about the drought, because it doesn't rain for a long time. So it doesn't rain, and then that can be dangerous because everything gets dry. And when everything gets dry, they talked about the example about California, because there were big fires in the forest, and that's a forest fire. So this is all for the first part of lesson 5. I'll see you in the second part. Bye for now.